active buyers are continuing to drop out of the market. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I want to welcome you here. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. I really, really appreciate it. As a Southern California licensed real estate agent in a red hot, euphoric market, it has been the Wild West out here, folks. I don't know about where you live, but out here it has been drink the real estate punch at its finest. Buyer euphoria pushed so much upward pressure onto the market that we now are in, make no mistake about it, a real estate bubble. Anybody that's telling you we're not in a bubble right now are people that want to sell you homes. And as a real estate agent, I know it's kind of weird to hear somebody come on and actually warn you as a salesman to be careful in these times, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm urging most of all my buyers to get on the sidelines at this time. I don't want to walk anybody into a firestorm right now and set them up to be house poor, where one blip in their income or the economy could send them into a tailspin. I'm just not going to do it. So before we get into this red hot topic of this buyer dropping out of the market scenario that I'm about to paint a picture for you and show you, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. I've been enjoying reading all your posts. Thank you so much for your participation in this channel. It's very important we get this message out. So here's the thing, folks, as a boots on the ground agent and taking new calls still on a daily basis, I've told you in the past with my heat map, with my thumb on the pulse of the industry, there's been a complete decline in that. Most of you know this already. There's been some what we call softening in the market. The big question mark is there going to be a real estate crash, which we're going to cover on future videos. So please stay tuned. So one of the things that I do is anytime I get a new buyer, I put them into my system. I have a saying that I've learned is buyers buy every step of the way. So if I put a buyer into my system, I can set them up to get search results and listings based on their price range, area size that they're looking for, how many bedrooms, and let them pretty much search the inventory. When they see inventory they like, all they have to do is simply notify me and we have a talk about that house. So one of the things I'm seeing is during the buyer euphoria, I was putting an astronomical amount of people into my buyer portal to get them in touch with the market and then heat map them to see if they're actively looking. Are they saving properties to their property search? Are they calling me requesting tours of properties? And I was getting a lot of that. So now what I'm seeing from my portal is a clear decline in activity from the active buyers. They're taking our advice and waiting on the sidelines, or they're just completely priced out and no longer can afford to buy. So we're seeing a clear shift in the market where it's softened. We're seeing more inventory come on. We're seeing more price reductions happen. Greedy sellers not able to get the price amounts that they were hoping for, thinking they were going to capitalize on the euphoria, and not smart at all. Separate videos. So one of the things that I'm seeing is people are basically, like, it's one thing for me to watch my active buyer portal and see what people are looking at, if they opened the email, if they clicked on a property, if they saved it to their property search, but to see buyers drop all the way out, what that looks like is a deactivation. People just completely deactivated their account with me and dropped all the way out. And I gotta tell you, folks, as much as I don't like to see that, I don't blame them. I'm almost applauding, like, good job, good job. Let's just wait. Listen, folks, I gotta come up for air on this. There's so much information. So the thing is, folks, we really need to be so strategic and smart right now. Whether you're a buyer or a seller or a renter, we fall in one of those three categories, really. And so there's so much right now with this perfect storm that's going on with the economy, fiscal cliffs, ending stimulus, just the amount of divide the nation has. There's just so much turmoil right now. The world, our digital diet, the information that we're getting, it's just been insane. So I know I really appreciate you guys because, I just came on and turned my camera on and started to go. And all of a sudden, my channel started to get some decent response. And I think it's because we're so sick of just seeing this watered down, manufactured content. We want some reality. We want to see somebody talk and give it to us straight. Even though I might miss a word here and there, or stumble on my words rather. You guys get it. Nobody's perfect, folks, and that's the thing. It's like you don't want to see somebody perfect. We don't trust somebody who wants to edit the video until they look perfect and then give it to you, because we know that's not real life. I mean, I think we do, right? That's the way, at least that's the way I feel. Now listen, there's awesome content creators out there, and I really enjoy watching a lot of these realists, basically warning like, hey, listen, this is not all sunshine and rainbows quite yet, folks. We have some serious issues that are coming down the pipe, and we need to pay realistic attention to these things, because that's what happened in the last housing crash, folks. It caught us off guard. It was like a thief in the night. It wasn't like, oh, we were able to see the warnings. By the time the signs were there, it was too late, and people were throwing things overboard, trying to get as light as they could, until eventually they lost their homes. And folks, that is no way to live. Take it from me. Take it from me. I lived through that. And I know a lot of agents or content creators or bubblegum real estate out there, they only know this market. And that's a very, I get it. I was the same way back then. I was like, well, it's the home ownership everybody's doing. I need to do this and this and that. And I bought at the top, and then the bottom hit, and I had this depreciated asset, and I was spending all my money to save it. Now, had I weathered that storm, and most of you know that did weather that storm, eventually it came back in value, and I would have been okay, but I would have had to carry this depreciated asset for at least 10 years. And because I was one of those people that came in with not a big down payment, it made more sense for me to do a short sale on the property. It's not a foreclosure, but it's definitely not much better than one. You basically put it on the market, see what offer you can get, and go to the bank and say, I got an offer for this. Do you want to take it? It's short of what I owe. And the banks were accepting this. Now that's what the banks are now gearing up on now. They're basically preparing for what potentially we call distressed properties. So they're trying to recruit a lot of agents, or there's companies positioning themselves to basically help handle what they are, getting ready for a strong possibility that we could see this housing correction come and people have to get rid of their assets. And listen, folks, with the fiscal cliffs and the stimulus ending, we've propped up the housing market. It's artificially stimulated, the stock market and the housing market, but everything kind of hinges on the housing market. The stock market can crash, but the housing market can remain strong. It's not true vice versa. If the housing market crashes, people are going to cash out their stocks because they need cash. That's why I always say, just don't worry about your cash devaluing so much. Don't be stock heavy. Don't be asset heavy. Cash still has tremendous value. And even if you're saving it on the sidelines to strike if deals come along in a down market to try to scoop up some properties, you want to have it from a pure survival standpoint. You want to have money for a rainy day. They've been telling us that for years, and it's what I do. I wouldn't tell you to do anything I don't do myself. I know for me, to increase my wealth, I have to make you wealthy first, and I believe knowledge and my experience is a great way to do that. And that's why I've come here to YouTube to try to give that a little bit back and just give you guys hopefully what's a breath of fresh air from somebody trying to give you some straight talk and not just try to keep you connected through manufactured content. I know you see that. You've responded. The follows have told me that's the case. So that's what we're going to deal with, folks. We got a lot of hot topics to cover. That I'm going to do my best to stop what I'm doing, turn the camera on, and bring you my thoughts around what I think is going on. And we have a potential crash looming. And it's just very important not to bury your head in the sand and drink that real estate Kool-Aid as good as it tastes. It's not a good idea. You have to remain a realist. You have to remain level-headed. You have to stay away from following the herd. And, it's just very, very important. So please, stay close to the channel. Again, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos come out, and I will do my best to continue to bring you temperature checks of the market, what we're seeing. Listen, folks, my market is the same as your market. You can talk to any agent in your area, and I can guarantee you they're seeing softening too, and more listings coming on, and more price changes. Where it used to be exclusive buyer needs, we're having this clear shift, and that should be a warning sign. That in itself, I could just turn off the video and stop right there. That in itself is a warning sign when the market shifts after an inflated market through stimulus and buyer euphoria. You have to pay attention right now. I'm trying to be as animated as possible, but this is serious business. Please, please, please stay tuned. So go out and make it count today. I really appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon.